Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is another team killing video. You're looking at an SU-122A, the Tier 5 Soviet SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Glacier under the command of FendaBenda. And alongside him is an M41 HMC driven by NIKOLAjonas. And this is on EU server. Well, as I said, this is a team killing video. And what's going to happen is that NIKOLAjonas is going to team kill FendaBenda. Now, it doesn't become immediately obvious straight away. FendaBenda accidentally loses 3 hit points to the Churchill just trying to get past him, but you can see what's going on here. Looks like NIKOLAjonas was more interested in getting to that firing position, but FendaBenda's okay guy. He's going to let that player take that spot if he wants to, and we're going to keep our eye on what's going on. Now, due to the fault of the replay manager, sometimes you can't see some of these tanks during play, but we're going to stay in third person so you can see what actually does happen. See that KV-85's come to life. He's finally got into the game and he's moving away. Keep your eye on the M41. He's firing at the enemy at the moment, and he just managed to get a hit on that T-67. Now, FendaBenda is aiming at the enemy towards the south. He's now aiming at a Cromwell. Trying to get shots on him. And we've lost sight of the M41, and that's the fault of the replay system, as I said. Sometimes tanks disappear, and sometimes they reappear. When he's aiming for a T-52 off there in the distance, he fires a round from his 152mm howitzer. And now he's aiming for the south, and I'm bringing that round because you can now see specifically what he's aiming at. It's somebody, a KV-85 I think, down on the south end of the map. FendaBenda's getting ready to shoot at him. And he's been team killed. The M41 appeared behind him, shotgunned him right in the back for absolutely no reason whatsoever. And now the M41 is driving off to suicide himself in the water. There you go, he's jumped into the water and now he's going to drown himself. And there was absolutely no reason for that whatsoever. So now the team are going to lose both of their Arty, or at least two of their Arty rather, because there is a third Arty in the game, and that is a gorilla. And he's still fighting. But the team's been seriously depleted of some of their useful fire support now. Now we're waiting for something unusual to happen. You're going to follow one of the other tanks in the game, and I think that FendaBenda switches over to him. He's actually asking the team to report the M41 HMC. But he's going to follow one of the teammates, the KV-85. He's gone over to the western side of the map, the heavy area. And up on top of the carrier, there's a Jackson and a T-34-85. Now, there are 3 tanks down at the moment. So they are effectively losing this battle. And they've got considerably less hit points. They're nearly 1,000 hit points left. There's the Jackson up on top of the carrier, and he was just fired on by the gorilla, who's hiding in the bushes at the back. Now, if FendaBenda had the chance, I think he might have been able to get into that area and then less likely to have been team killed, but we don't know why the M41 team killed. here at all. And we've gone to the battle now that's going on the carrier and on the western side, and we can see a T-34-85 up on top of the carrier, and the KV-85 Black Cats is now engaging this P-43, and it's going to be a close run battle. And he actually just got hit by one of the shells from the Gorilla, one of his own teammates, who did 211 hit points of damage in the process. Black Cats is trying to get the kill on this P-43. And here comes the T-34-85. Oh, he missed. How did it go, though? Well, you can see the damage that the Gorilla did accidentally by hitting him. There's a huge HE hole in the back of the KV-85 in the engine deck. I'm sure that shell was actually meant for the P-43, but unfortunate consequence was that it actually hit his own teammate, did a huge amount of damage to him. I suspect that the KV-85 at this moment is either trying to type a message to the Gorilla, or he's trying to work out what's going to happen next. In fact, he was actually typing a message at that moment, which came up in chat. Well, they've managed to claw the score back, so it's now the same number of tanks on either side, but the problem is that FendaBenda's team has considerably less hit points. 400 less hit points, which is effectively a spare tank, or in fact 2 tanks worth of hit points. And we're following the battle as it was going on here, and yep, both sides have lost another tank each. And this T-34 is receiving fire, and I think it's coming from that Hellcat over there. Well, the IKV is fighting it out with the Hellcat, and the Gorilla's redeemed himself by getting the kill on that Hellcat. But there's another enemy over there, T-52. He's almost as dangerous as the Hellcat. A, because it's Soviet and fast, and it's got a decent gun. And a Stug 3G. And the IKV is not in a happy situation now. Only 13 hit points left. Oh, he takes out the T-52, but gets killed in return, so that was an eye for an eye. And we can see the Gorilla has left the area at the back. They've got a 1-tank advantage now. But there's no guarantee it'll stay that way, because they have got a disadvantage when it comes to hit points. Well, just been hit by the enemy Arty. There's 2 enemy Arty. There's a Gorilla and an Su-122A. Well, that helps, but then a shell comes in from the Gorilla, which has stunned the Churchill, and he's now engaging that Cromwell. Two ricochets. That Cromwell driver must be feeling a bit fed up with that. Oh, and that's the end of his game from the Grilla. So there's only two left on their team, the Grilla and this M4A3 EC2, the Super Jumbo, yes. And he has taken some damage already, as you can see, both through the side and through the front. And here comes the Slug 3G. And that was an Arty round from their Grilla.
We fixed the track. Get going.
And unfortunately he's just been killed by the enemy Grilla, and our Grilla has drowned himself, Paul von Jaeger. So that's two Arty drowned themselves during this game, one after team killing FendaBenda. So there's the full replay, and you can see for yourself. Unfortunately, FendaBenda didn't manage to get any hit points of damage on the enemy. The person who team killed him was this one, NIKOLAjonas. Was it NIKOLAjonas? In the M41 HMC. And the one who drowned himself, who should feel thoroughly ashamed of himself because he actually did team damage as well, 211 hit points against the KV-85, was Paul von Jaeger. And after the M4A3 EC2 was destroyed, he went and drowned himself. In fact, I think he was drowning himself before that happened, because after all, it came up and said that he drowned just as the Super Jumbo was killed. So he should be ashamed of himself as well, not only for doing team damage, but for drowning yourself, because you don't drown, you fight. There's always a chance you can win a battle, even in an Arty, and we've seen that happen. We've seen Grillas, we've seen Artys get Kolobanov medals for fighting their way and killing all of the remaining enemy tanks. So no excuse for doing what they did. Let's have a look at the team scores at the end. Well, we can see that FendaBenda did actually get some credits for the battle for taking part. He got compensation for the damage done by the M41, and after repair and ammunition resupply, still took home 1,039 credits. But he was denied the opportunity to earn more credits and more XP by actually hitting the enemy. All he picked up was 53 XP for taking part. But it doesn't excuse the team killing by NIKOLAjonas, or NIKOLAjonas, or this suicide by Paul von Jaeger. So Wargaming, it's down to you now. You need to give these people a ban. You need to ban NIKOLAjonas, and you also need to send a message, a stiff warning to the Grilla, Paul von Jaeger, and say to him, look, if you're going to drown yourself in the battles, you are going to get penalized for it. Okay, down to you, Wargaming. Thank you.